Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Jennie Montgomery. Welcome to another half hour of information to help you make the most of your time, to make informed decisions, and to keep up with goings on around Greater Augusta. Today, we're talking about an exciting discovery in the diagnosis and treatment of fibromyalgia. We've also got the latest from a booming industry, CBD oil, and a store in Augusta that can answer lots of your questions. But first, the story of the legendary Augusta National Caddy Master, Freddie Bennett, as told with a lot of humor and even more heart by Augusta author Tripp Bowden. Bowden's a former Augusta National caddy, the first full-time white caddy in the history of the elite private club. He's also a former collegiate golfer. He talked about his book and his journey with the Golf Channel.
If $100 makes a difference in your life one way or another, you're in a heap of trouble.
They're called Freddieisms, priceless pearls from the late Freddie Bennett, caddy master at Augusta National for over 40 years.
He was friends with everybody from Palmer to Ike to Nichols to you name it.
Tripp Bowden remembers the day he met Freddie. He was only 10.
It was a mammoth of a man, and here was a little skinny white kid. But when he shook my hand, I felt like a brotherhood formed instantly. He had such a presence, and he just brought me into his world automatically, like I'd been there all along.
Tripp's dad was a prominent doctor here in Augusta. Freddie, one of his patients.
When I first met Freddie, he said, I know you don't like golf, and I know you like to fish. And I said, I love to fish. He said, well, all right, we're going fishing tomorrow. Turns out we're going fishing at the club. And I was so far removed from the game of golf, I didn't know what the club meant. Of course, he meant Augusta National Golf Club.
Well, that is just a part of a really great feature the Golf Channel did with Tripp Bowden, who I'm pleased is with us today. He is, as you know, the author of Freddie and Me. And also, Lara Nichols is with us today. She's with Aquarius Vision Films. And Lara's going to talk to us in a minute. This book is being made into a movie, so we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to talk to you, Tripp.
Yes, ma'am.
Just about the accomplishment of writing these stories. A lot of people think they're going to do that. A lot of people think they have a book inside of them. You did it. You put the words on paper.
Yes, it was quite the task, I must say, but I've always said I was going to be a writer when I grew up, and after telling my wife that, for about 10 years, she said, all right, I've heard enough. Here's a pen, here's a paper, here's a beer. Write me a prologue.
Well, Freddie kept asking you about the book, too.
He did. He said he always wanted me to write his life story, but he said we'd have to do it when he was dead, he said, because they'd kill us both with all the stuff he knew.
Well, so, you've told his story in such a wonderful way, as I said earlier. He tells the stories with a lot of humor and a lot of heart. I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed reading the book, Freddie and Me. You don't have to be a golfer at all. I mean, you have to be alive, and you have to appreciate relationships. Freddie is someone who came into your life when you were just a kid.
Yes, I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he got to you through fishing. But yes. This is where Tripp was mentally at the time. Tripp was just a kid, and he writes, although I was born and raised in Augusta, I'm too young and too removed from the game of golf to realize what Augusta National really is, what it means to our town, the world, and the game, the history, the nostalgia, the prestige, the secrecy. And he goes on to say, truth be told, at this point in my life, I hate the game of golf. And part of that is you felt like golf took your dad away from you.
Yes, he was a up-and-coming prominent surgeon, and when he had a free moment, he wanted to go play golf. And I wanted to fish, kick a soccer ball, or anything but golf.
Yeah.
So he actually got me a set of golf clubs, and I took him out the street, and I banged them up. And then I got my butt banged for doing that.
And so then Freddie decides to take you fishing one day.
Freddie comes over to the house, and I meet him for the first time, and Pop was his doctor, but Pop's idea is doctoring Freddie was to check his blood pressure and say you're going to live and have some scotch and tell some stories.
Yeah.
And Freddie's talking about this incredible golf club and this wonderful club and on and on and on, and I'm just enthralled with the way he has a hold on the King's English. And then he turns to me and he says, I understand you don't like golf. And I said, I can't stand golf. He said, but you'd like to fish. And I said, I love to fish. And he said, all right, that settles it. Tomorrow we're going to fishing at the club. I had no idea he was talking about the Augusta National Golf Club. And that was in the summertime when it was closed.
Yeah.
And he took me out there, and we tooled down Magnolia Lane, which to me was just a road. And we hopped in his golf cart with the governor on and took off down the road. And then we went to the par 3 course and started fishing with these cane poles that he cut himself from the par 3, from the bamboo. and we're just reeling them in hand over fist. And he says, I know you don't like golf, but have you ever given it a chance? And I said, no, I never had a question posed to me quite like that before. And so he teaches me the golf grip on the cane pole with one finger, and I pull in a broom with one finger, and just like that, I was hooked. Golf for life.
Isn't
And
that neat?
I said, is this golf? And he said, this is golf. I said,
Such a
cool.
roundabout way
Very-
of
very
getting there.
Mr. Miyagi-esque.
Yep. Another really good one that he gave you, because as you said, you know, you've had this story in you, and it took years to figure out what you were going to do. Freddie said something to you once. He said, man, ain't nothing wrong with dropping the ball as long as you catch it before it hits the ground. Wow.
Pretty deep, pretty poignant. Freddie had a million of them. Called them Freddieisms.
Because you know what? We all stumble.
Yes, we do.
And growth comes in the stumbling.
Only way to know is to know.
I really loved
You
that
actually
one.
read this book. I'm impressed.
The story. Oh, I couldn't put it
close
down.
attention to
I
it.
thought
You-
it was
you can
absolutely.
highlight it.
Oh,
I like
yeah,
it.
that may
I'm
be
honored.
another one we have time for. But besides the book about Freddie and Me, there is this treasure as well that Tripp has written, and it is about, I want to get the name right, the Caddy's Cookbook. And these are throughout this book. He mentions little things like the
Pork
pork
chop sandwich?
sandwiches, the pork chop
fried.
sandwiches, and the chowder, and the different things that you're
Pompano.
eating. Well, here we go with the cookbook, and this is the funniest cookbook ever, because some of the ingredients, include things like a dish towel, because it could get messy, and then in another
I'll feed
one,
the beach towel.
a beach towel, because it could get really messy. That was with the recipe for the famous green jacket salad. There's so many behind-the-scenes stories that are told through Tripp's book and through the cookbook. And the book is so exciting that it's being turned into a movie. And Lara is the assistant executive producer for this movie.
Correct.
So what is the timeline for everything happening?
Yeah, at the most 24 months, but the way things are moving, probably much sooner.
Moving fast.
We're hopefully looking maybe at even starting the filming by fall.
Wow. So do you have your cast and everything?
We do.
Yeah?
We have an absolutely amazing cast. As far as Freddie, Michael T. Williams, he was Bubba on Forrest Gump.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
his dad is right now set up to be Matthew McConaughey, and his mom, Sandra Bullock. So,
That's the hope.
yeah.
And you're playing me.
Wow.
You're prettier though.
Yeah. So the cast is going to be absolutely incredible.
That must just feel terrific to think that your work is going to be memorialized in a movie.
It's pretty mind blowing. Well, I've always wanted to honor Freddie, and the book obviously is a testimony for what an incredible man he was. I always say he was a once in a lifetime person who worked in a once in a lifetime place, and I happen to be a very fortunate boy to have him in my life. But to have him, memorialized in a movie, it's mind blowing actually. I had to wrap my head around it, and it's been a little bit over a month since we've been talking about all this, and things are, the train is moving very fast.
Wow.
But
Wow.
we're very excited. We got a great director in Ryan Lamar and a lot of great people behind it, including Lara.
And Lara, this has to be just very exciting for you to watch this happening.
Yeah, it has blown me away. And it's such a interesting process. And talking about Freddie too, I never knew him, but I've met so many people that did know him, and I don't know that there was anyone who didn't think he was such a wonderful person and so highly respected. I can't wait till we can bring this to the big screen and let people know just who he really was and how important he was. And such the neat twist on this story is you always see the movies where, the white gentleman might give the African American a chance. And this is the twist on that, where the true story was the African American gentleman who took him under his wing and absolutely, helped mold his life. And, now he's an author and all the things that Tripp has done. And it's just, Freddie had such a big part of that. And we're so happy to be a part of this story.
I think that leads me to a perfect way to wrap this up. And that is with this little story from your book. You were the only white caddy there, the only white full-time caddy.
I was.
It was the first time you found yourself as the minority. You weren't a privileged doctor's kid or anything like that. You were one of the caddies. And you tell this really neat story about Caddy Day when all the caddies got to golf. And sadly, the golf got cut short. Caddies had to go in. Not you, Tripp, just the caddies. You can stay. And you're thinking to yourself, damn it, I'm a caddy too. And you see your dad standing up there on the tee with the pro. They're waiting for you. I can't do it, I say to Pop. It's not right. I turn the cart around and tell Donahue to hop in. Together we head for the parking lot. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. I regret it to this day.
That's true. I should have left with him. He was my wingman. I should have left with him. It was caddy day, and caddy day was over, and I was a caddy. And
You were very brave telling that. That's
Thank
a
you.
very humbling story, and it's a very honest story.
Thank you. That's my favorite chapter.
I love the book. I can't tell you enough how great it was. I hope that you'll pick it up. It's a wonderful, inspiring story. Father's Day could be a really good Father's Day or Mother's Day book for sure. But Freddie and Me is something that will stay with you after you read it. I certainly look forward to seeing the movie, and we have a little
you.
bonus for Jennie viewers. We're going to continue our conversation about the making of the movie on our website. Just go to WJBF.com, click the Jennie link, and click the web extra, and you can learn a little bit more about the making of Freddie and Me, the movie. Lara, Tripp, thanks so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Can I say one more thing, or are you done?
Make it quick.
Well, I like to say that Freddie didn't write the story of my life. He edited it.
It's worth it. It's worth the time for you to say that. Love it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Still ahead on Jennie, millions living